Oh, oh, where was I? Okay. Oh, sorry about that. My chair again. I can't control it. It just one of these days is gonna blow up on me. That's fine. Oh, I remember one in here. Um, Apologize about that. Uh, be for real. Okay. 150, just to see if it has any good stats. I'm just hoping for a high melee or health stat. Something above 47. Um, this isn't my primary lightning wyvern, so it's a little weak. But they are fast, so I'll give it that. Um, I apologize again for my chair too. I also have a little bit of a list. I got my retainers like 4 or 5 days ago, so that's nice. Apologize for that again. That was meant to connect to my PlayStation, and for some reason it's not. Um, my last video I posted on Halloween got a little bit of a copyright notice, which is kind of annoying, but I get it. I think I thought what's it called? For some reason, I thought video game OSTs, classical music like whatchamacallit, like Beethoven stuff, or you know, I thought those were royalty free. How the fuck did that get damaged? Oh my god. It's just a gate, right? No, it's not the gate. Doesn't matter. I'm here for you. Oh my god. I hate coming to this place so much. Okay. It's not worth it. But I apologize. My last video got a little bit of a copyright notice. It's kind of annoying, but it's whatever. Our laws with DMCA and all that stuff is really outdated. It's really annoying. So, uh, it's whatever. I remember they were going to court to fix it for like, whatchamacallit, for emulating stuff, like old Nintendo games and shit, but it didn't go through because some companies like Nintendo are old and stubborn and don't understand that we're willing to pay for their old games and that are like ported to their console. But yeah, because most of every company that's run, any like corporation, is run by like older people who don't understand that we're willing to pay and yada yada, and that are like too stuck up and live by old morals are extremely outdated. So it's really annoying. And it's really annoying now because as I'm recording this and um as I'm recording this and as I'm probably gonna upload, because usually I record and upload the same day. Sorry, that was my laptop. I have my essay open. I'm gonna work on my essay after I'm done with this video. Um, uh, Politics, but yada yada yada. The election ended like 2 days ago. I voted. I voted because I'm a responsible, barely 18-year-old adult who recognizes the importance of voting. So, yeah, this leads to what I'm gonna say. I don't care what party affiliation you are. I don't care if you're a Democrat, a Republican, a filthy liberal, a conservative, all that stuff. I don't care. I don't give a shit. What matters to me is like the outcome of the future the most. And obviously that should be a normal thing for everyone. Like, the outcome of the future, how like the next generation is gonna grow up and how well are we gonna like set them up for the future. Cause I don't know why the older people like complaining that we have it easy. Yes, because you guys made it easy for us. And that's a good thing. We should keep making it easier. Regardless, we're also getting rid of basic human rights that we fought for years to have, such as, um, like, women's suffrage. That was a bad thing, and it's good that we got it through. So now they can vote, and what's more, we it's good. I don't care what political affiliation you have, as long as you and I have the same respect and the same like desire for the future of our country and our generation, and like the future generations to live a prosperous life that isn't full of greed and market manipulation and all that shit. Like Cyberpunk, Ever heard of that? The whole reason why their universe failed is because market manipulation and greed, because they couldn't control, they let capitalism take control of their government and every other government, and they let corporations have a saying hand in politics in their country. And I think our country's kind of heading towards that. I don't think our country in general, I think like most countries are heading towards that. Like, I'm an American. I'm a Hispanic born American. So I was born here in America, but my blood consists of pure Mexican. But I'm still American because I was born here in America. So I'm Latino. I'm Latino American. And I see like my point of view and other point of view. So like I understand like the whole deportation thing and building a border. I think that's a little dumb. I understand why people would want that. Like, you want more secure borders. I respect that. That's a good thing. More secure borders means like less terrorist attacks and all that. We don't want another 9/11, do we? No, we don't. But strictly like not allowing people to come over here based on their ethnicity and all that is kind of weird and rude, and if you believe in that, you shouldn't be allowed to vote. And I don't care. I don't know where I'm going with this. Uh, I'm not really okay. I follow politics a little bit. I'm not really huge on it, and honestly, following it makes me upset and mad. So I try to avoid it at all costs. So some of the stuff I'm saying might be outdated. So yeah. And most of the stuff I follow about politics is mostly for environmentalism because I'm more of an environmentalist. I care more about the future of our planet and the future of like everyone's well-being. I don't have a political affiliate, but if I did, I'd probably be part of the Green Party. And, you know, with our two-party system, having an affiliation with a third party or a party that isn't well known isn't a good thing. So it's great, really great. If you wanted to know who I wanted to vote for, I wanted to, but I didn't because again, our two-party system is really outdated, and we should really update the electoral college because how heavily outdated it is. And again, our founding father, our first president, George fucking Washington, didn't want a two-party system because he knew how bad that would make, like how it would split the country and how things would go wrong with it. And then fucking Alexander Hamilton and I think it was Thomas Jefferson, but those two created a two-party system and it became war. And then the whole electoral college and yada yada yada. And it was we have them to blame. We have them to blame. But what the fuck? Okay. But that's not what I wanted to. Oh yeah, by the way, I figured out the control things on the side. I just have to reset my settings. I don't know what setting I turned off for that, so don't even ask me. I just reset my settings, picked my like visual ones, like camera, shake, my FOV, my sensitivity, and motion blur because I hate motion blur and I hate camera bob because it makes me really lightheaded. Even though I don't have motion sickness, but I think I do when it comes to like movies and stuff. So, but that's a bad thing because I really like movies that like are really creative with their camera and stuff. So, but regardless, we're gonna try to stay on topic. Um, this is mainly about like Kamala v. Trump. I'm gonna be honest. If you don't want to watch this, you don't click off. I have no affiliation to any one of them. I didn't really like any of them, but I recognize the good they brought to the country, and I recognize the bad they could bring to the country. When Trump was running, he did some pretty good stuff, like the Paris whatever thingy. He signed it, so we don't burn as much coal as we used to. So I respect him for that. So it's really good. And Biden did some good. He also did some bad. A lot of people who don't know how the economy works and how presidency works blame him for everything, such as gas prices raising, when that's literally out of his control. We can't control gas prices. So also we should be moving to a more ethical or no, a more, easier fuel like ethanol, like corn, because we don't need corn. Let's be honest. We grow so much corn here in Kansas, and it's such a waste of water because corn does not grow well here in Kansas. But we produce it just to make ethanol, and we use that ethanol more for like alcohol and stuff. So it's not a good thing. We should be focusing that more into like biofuels instead of relying on fossil fuels. I don't want to run my car. I don't want to, use my car and like the source of fuel, like to be a lecithodrin tree or something. Because most fossil fuels are like fish or plants. A little fun fact, by the way, it's not usually dinosaurs. Dinosaurs and like other extinct animals are usually preserved. usually preserved in like museums and stuff. So it's a good thing. And most fossil fuels are either just straight up coal or plants and like sea life, like shells and stuff. So, but they did some good. They did some bad. Um, and I can see it. My personal opinion, I don't think there's been a good president since Roosevelt. The last Roosevelt. Roosevelt was like probably the last really good president. And after that, obviously Roosevelt again, and then Abe Lincoln, and good old George Washington. I was gonna say Garfield, but the only reason I remember Garfield is because he's from Kansas, so where I was born, where I'm from, good old country boy, and cause the funny orange fat cat who hates Mondays. but But what I'm trying to say is the two party system is outdated. It's stupid. We should update it. And normal politics is extremely toxic, and it shouldn't be affecting our lives as much as it should. And I'm not gonna be an activist being like, we need free healthcare. No, I think we're fine with healthcare that you have to pay for. Like, I don't want my taxes to be higher. I don't want to wait like 8 months in a line to like fix a broken arm that probably healed extremely wrong during that wait time. I'm not giving shade to the doctors who work in free healthcare countries. I bet they're good, and I bet they're paid decently well through their taxes and stuff. I have, I can't, I'm not really informed in that subject, and I can't really say anything about it. I'm a huge fence sitter, so that's a good and bad thing. Like I like seeing both sides, and I like seeing like sticking in the middle to find a result for both. Because I feel like that's most people. Most people are in the gray area. No one is completely black and white. Everyone has a little gray into them, and I have a lot of gray. Most people have a lot of gray. It's just a loud minority is out there. But I just wanted to voice my not my concerns, just my disappointment. Again, I didn't want to vote for Trump or Kamala. I was mostly going for Kennedy because Kennedy was looking more towards the future and like the next generation's hope. And sure, he endorsed Trump, and I don't give a shit about that. I don't care who he endorsed. I care more about him than who he endorsed because that's the politic I wanted. And it sucks because again, I would be considered to be like unaffiliated or third party, so there's genuinely no chance for me or any of the political leaders that I want to win. So yeah, that's one of my things. But honestly, that's mostly my fault. So it's my fault for being more in the middle area. So I have no one else to blame but myself. But also the two party system because the two party system is fucking stupid. And I will forever hate the two party system because it's extremely outdated and it shouldn't have existed in the first place. Because, oh, I'm not a history major, but I know a lot about history. I took a college class of history while in high school. So I just wanted to flex that, even though that's probably not like a high procedure thing because college classes in high school is really stupid and really overcomplicated. So don't take college classes in high school. That's my recommendation. Take college classes when you're in college, and they're gonna be so much easier and more laid back than the stress you'll get from taking them in high school. Oh my god, that AP class made me want to like rip my eyes out. It wasn't hard at all, but the stress of that and then honors and then all the other classes. So, yeah. I probably sound so fucking stupid and like nerdy because of my list. So, I fucking hate these retainers. But stupid poop sound effect made me chuckle. Uh, I don't think it's my personal opinion. I don't think, and you can prove me wrong down in the comment sections and give me like evidence and stuff. But I don't think you should be able to run again if you lost your second like trial run. Like let's give an example. Speaking of Kennedy, let's say if JFK was still alive and he was gonna run for a second term and he lost that debate, he shouldn't be able to run again for a second term after the next 4 years. That doesn't make sense. You lost your chance to run your second term. And I don't understand why that isn't updated. That's genuinely an exploit in just politics and elections. That's genuinely just an exploit that shouldn't exist and should be updated. You shouldn't be able to run again after you lose your second term run. You shouldn't be able to run again if you were threatened to be impeached. And I was going to say you shouldn't be able to run if you're a convicted felon, but when I think about it more and more, there has been presidents in the past who have ran and who were convicted felons. So I think that claim is a little stupid and a little dumb because you can't just prioritize the one dude you hate. Like, I don't like the orange bastard. I don't like him. I don't like him a lot, you know? But I could at least, like, respect him if he fucking took his loss and wasn't a sore loser. I don't know much about Kamala. Uh, I'm gonna be honest, so it is gonna be a little biased. If I knew stuff about her and did my research and all that, I would say some negative things about her, but I genuinely have nothing positive or negative about her. The only negative thing I have about her is like she was trying too hard to connect to Gen Z, which is my generation, and I fucking hate saying Gen Z because, dude, that sounds so that sounds so fucking gay. Oh my god, it sounds so stupid. But she was trying really hard to connect to Gen Z, like the whole Brat thing. I hate that song, by the way. I fucking hate the Brat album. Oh my god, none of those songs were good. And but I had to give Charlie XCX the benefit of the doubt. She was writing her song in a specific style, and she did that style almost perfectly. And I hate that style. So, because half of her songs sound like she's going. So, that's just a tangent, a personal tangent. I just don't like that song or album or Charlie XCX in general. I don't really like her music. I'm just like targeting her right now because she was she was pretty active into politics for some reason, specifically with Kamala and like endorsing her. But like, yeah, endorsing to Gen Z, that's cool. You're connecting to the newer generation who are gonna grow old and vote. But how many of those people that you're trying to connect to are actually going to vote? Probably one out of like 30 people. Because that's the problem too. Um, new voters are becoming less and less, especially whenever they become 18, because they think voting is stupid and that they don't have a voice in it. And then yet they have the gall to complain when like a law or something that they could have voted against or for did go through or didn't go through. Like, why are you complaining about politics, and why are you voicing out, like, again, freedom of speech, First Amendment, go you, voice it out. But at least have some fucking balls and some fucking, like, uh, like, have something to defend your argument. You didn't vote, so you shouldn't be complaining. If you don't vote, you shouldn't complain about like the results. That's I know it sounds stupid, and I know it probably sounds like really petty and stuck up and whatever, but like genuinely, you're the reason. You're what's wrong. You're the reason why some of these results happen. If you just voiced your mouth, voiced your opinion, if you just took 10, 15 minutes out of your day, not even 10 minutes, I went to go vote. It only took me like 4 minutes. Honestly, it probably took me more than 4 minutes because I went to the wrong side because I'm rural, not city. So I mean, I went to the city side instead of going to the rural, which I don't know why I did that. So, but I did vote twice. So I just wanted to make that sure. They checked my ID and they're like, "Oh yeah, you should go to the rural side." I was like, "Damn!" I figured. I decided to go to the city side just in case. But, but, that's the thing that annoys me. Like, you didn't vote. You think voting is stupid, and then you get mad that your thing that you were voting for or that you wanted to go for or against went through or went through the other way. Like, no shit. I would be upset too, but at least I have a reason to be upset because I took the time out of my day to go voice my opinion and put a little slip through the ballot. It shouldn't take that long. The offices are open almost all day. They close at 9 p.m. You should have time to go vote. If you are 18 or older, you should vote. It's dumb. It's dumb how often we have to remind people to vote. And then the people who don't vote are like the loudest and the dumbest group of people who are just like, yeah, I don't like this turnout. Okay, then why didn't you vote against it? Like, you're the problem. You need to realize that you are the problem. Again, it doesn't matter what political affiliation you have, it doesn't matter which party you're in, it doesn't matter all of that. You just need to vote. And if you don't know much about politics, just do some basic research. Ask your friends. Yes, it might be a little one sided, but at least you'll still have some basic information to make your opinion and voice your side. And it's really annoying. It's really annoying when it comes to this thing. Because again, I firmly believe if you lost your second chance, you shouldn't be able to run again. That should have counted as your your attempt as second term. You lost against Joseph R. Biden, so you lost your second term. So you shouldn't be able to run again. I can bring up the convicted felon. I can bring all that up. But again, I think that's stupid because a bunch of presidents prior or a bunch of candidates prior him were also felons and stuff. You know, George W. Bush or not George. I don't think it was W. Bush. I think it was the other Bush. But a bunch of presidents and a bunch of politicians, they might have known Epstein. You know, they might have known Epstein. Some of them could have known Diddy. Yeah, people who are like pretty well known for sexual assault and uh, child pornography and manipulation of the minor. And yeah, those are very huge federal crimes. And stealing documents is also like a huge federal crime. I don't want to mention that, but like if he stole federal documents, why should he be allowed back in office when it's going to be the same result again once you lose? Because you won't be able to run for a third term, and you know that, and you're probably going to bitch and whine about that. You're going to steal more federal documents, and then you're going to get arrested for it again, and then there's going to be a cult following behind your back. One of my essays that I wrote for English this year was about religion and the power it has. Yeah, sorry about that. One of the it was about religion and like the power and the grip it has in governments and in politics and how religion could be a bad thing in countries. But then again, it's also a good thing. It's good to have faith in something, whether it be the Christian God, whether it be Buddha, whether it be Islamic, whether it be any of those. Again, your political affiliation does not matter to me. Your religious affiliation does not matter to me. Believe in you want to believe. You be in a cult like Mormonism. Believe in Yeshua or it's just Jesus. But be a Mormon. Be in the cult. I don't care. But religion has really strong hold into politics and stuff. I don't think it should be allowed. Like in most governments, like let's look back. We were looking back with George Washington. Let's look back in like the 1800s. Yeah, I remember this little town. You might have heard of it. It was called Salem. They had these little trials, killing a bunch of innocent women, men, because they were part of a different religious ideology, or they dared question the faith of God and all that, and also like the witchcraft stuff because of a slave that you guys had in your town was just showing people stuff about her religion, and you deemed that to be witchcraft and all that. And they just went along with it because they had no way of arguing against it because religion was key. Religion had a grip on everything. And I feel like we're going back to that. And that's not a good thing. Most it's most of the loud minority who are for red. I know it's a stereotype, but it's a pretty common and pretty accurate stereotype that most red-blooded Americans or uh, MAGA people or whatever. They're just the easiest target. I'm gonna be honest. They're really the easiest target. I couldn't really think of anyone else. Um, a lot of them are hardcore Christians or Catholics, and you believe in the deity you want to believe. Just again, let very, very political opinion. You should just let people be themselves and be happy. Oh my god. My bad. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. That was way too far. But but how could you worship, a higher deity, a god, and then make this dude who knows nothing about you and is just running to be the almighty powerhouse of our country you live in? Why do you like symbolize him as a god? Isn't that like not isn't that like a sin? Making a false prophet or making a god out of someone else who isn't, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, and all that. Wait, all of them are 215. Isn't that against your religion? All of these suck, all of these suck, all of these suck. No, 221. Okay. Isn't that against your religion? Making a false prophet out of someone? And you're treating this man who shouldn't, again, personal opinion, he shouldn't be able to run again. Not because of the felony, but because he lost his second term. He lost his chance the second term. He shouldn't be allowed to run again. I don't know if he's the 45th president or is he the 48th president now? Or not the 48th. No, it would be. No, it would be the 47th. 47th. It'd be the 47th president. Because Joseph R. Biden was the 46th. I love saying his full name. What would that count? Would he be the 45th or would he be the 47th? That doesn't make sense. That shouldn't be allowed. It's it's stupid. It's stupid that he's running again. And all these people are justifying it. Like, no. No, it's not a good thing. He's a very bad guy. He, well, again, he's not a good guy. Personally, I've seen the stuff he's done. I've seen the stuff he said. I grew up during his, you know, whole running, and it wasn't too good. Nor was the last guy, and nor was Obama. Let's be honest. I don't think bombing a children's hospital was a good idea. I don't think leaving our troops out of a country full of terrorists that caused, that. Again, not every Islamic person or every other people are, you know, part of Al Qaeda and all that. But like, you saw the result after we left. A bunch of people were running towards planes because they wanted to like leave the country. They didn't want their country to be ran by them. So leaving our military force on the war that's still going, a war on terror, we're still fighting against terrorism. And we had our foot on a country that was filled with those people. for some reason, leaving a bunch of innocent people to be killed. And like, it's stupid. And don't even get me started on the fucking Israel Palestine shit. Like, again, very hot take. Might get me removed on YouTube. This small channel with only like 4 or 3 subscribers. Very possible, you know. But I don't think we should be killing innocent people. I don't think we should let a government take control over a country that wasn't theirs to begin with. They went there to flee from a genocide, and the thanks they give to the people is deplorable. The thanks they give for being welcomed and let in is by causing a genocide on their own hands, on their own terms, so they can have control of the place. Like, bro, you survived against one of the most deplorable dictators of all time. Fucking Hitler. Yeah, survived against him. You ran. You ran to Israel, where, let alone, it used to be your old hometown. But then again, you gotta remember the other race that was there, who were originally there, the Palestinians. That is their original land. And then you kick them out, and you slowly segregate them to their own little dollhouse, their own little corner. And then you decide to do what that disgusting, deplorable, fucking loser of a man. And you do it to them. You caused, and we're supporting it as a country. Our taxes that we're paying, it goes to them. Buying, like, stuff from Walmart, it goes to them. You want a meal from McDonald's? It goes to supporting a genocide. And I have nothing on the Ukraine and Russia war. I'm not educated in that. I have a friend who's Ukrainian, and he mostly knows more about it. And he has family that lives in Ukraine. So I don't think they should be allowed there. It's really stupid. And again, it sucks being involved in politics, because I just want what's best for everyone. And you could be like, oh, I want to go back to your own country. I don't want to go back to Mexico. I don't want to go to Mexico. They're corrupt as fuck. Every good politician in Mexico is gonna get fucking killed by the cartel. One good politician, like, months ago, he barely got into office, and then he got fucking decapitated, and his head got presented on his own car because he just wanted to do good for the country. Which means, you know, as a threat to the cartel, who mostly run the country. A person who's fighting for basic human rights gets decapitated over there. There was this comedian, this lady who, like, who was comedic, and she was really political, and she made a one-off joke against the cartel, and she runs this business. I don't remember what it was. I think it was like a cafe or like a little restaurant. She was closing. She's closing up her store. Probably gonna go record a video about joking about politics while like still being an activist. And God forbid she made a joke, because now she's dead. Oh, if you can't be a good person over there in Mexico, so I'd rather not go back there. 'Cause, again, God forbid you fight for basic human rights, and God forbid you just want to live peacefully and free with no judgment. God forbid you don't feel comfortable in your own skin. Yes, you were biologically born with two X's or two or XY in your chromosome, but you don't feel comfortable in your own body. God forbid you make yourself happy and change your body, no one else's, to be more comfortable and more free in your own body. God forbid you're into the same gender. God forbid you're not religious or believe in another religion that isn't the same as yours. God forbid that a religion you worship is similar to another. Just God forbid for being alive, for wanting to live. I know it's a little late into the video, like 48 minutes in, whatever. But I'm not really open about myself here. And this channel was made specifically to be a journal of some sorts for myself. So I can listen into like what was going on in my life then, or what's going on now, and how my emotions are. But I live every day wanting to kill myself. I take antidepressants just to feel, just for my hormones and like the chemicals in my brain to just balance a little bit. I don't want to be alive, but I still am living. And part of it is because I have really good friends. I have a really good family. I love my partner to death. And will do anything for them. And I'm over my two exes, but I still feel guilty for the things I did. And that's fine. You can feel guilty about the things you did in the past. You can feel guilty about the things you'll do in the future. And you can be completely over them. I'm over my exes completely. To be frank, I was never into them. And that was fucked up of me. And I feel guilty for that. But that doesn't mean I like them. And I think of myself as a shitty person. Every day it's just a struggle to wake up. And every day it's just a struggle to do a basic human task. Like the essay about religion that I was writing. That took, I think I was like 3 weeks over due date. And my teacher, my fucking English professor, he's amazing. And I couldn't ask for anyone else better. And he understands what I'm going through. Doing all that research about religion, like the Salem trials, uh, other countries that like religion takes priority and remove basic human rights because they believe in their ideology of like, I am a man and I am the superior being and all that. That sucks. And I hated doing research on that, but it was informative and I needed to do that paper. And I needed to make this video about politics because I just needed to get this out of my system. I hate waking up, learning that we're making this beautiful planet that we live on miserable by the second. I just hate, I hate being alive. I'm guilty for a lot of things. I'm not guilty for a lot of things, but it's just, it's just really hard to find a point in living when the world is so rough. And the only thing I have positive for me is someone I can hug and kiss, and the nature all around me. I'm thankful that I live in the country because I just see a vastness of green pastures. And yeah, most of it's terrifying. But at least there's trees. At least I can hear the birds sing. At least I have bugs in my backyard. At least I have a mouse that like scatters in and out from our house and from our farm. But just watching that slowly and slowly getting taken away from me. Not taken away from me, just taken away in general. Because we can't do the simple task of giving a shit about living here, giving a shit about the well being of our own planet that we live on. It's just really hard. I look to paleontology because I'm like, oh my god, look how beautiful life was. And I get sad thinking about that. We don't have that. And then I think about what we have now and I think, oh wow, that's really beautiful. And I love what we have now. Like, yeah, it's a shame that we don't have gorgonopsids running around and maybe even being domesticated. It's a shame that we don't have a non-avian dinosaur like fucking Dilophosaurus with truly hunting in the wild like for a fox. Yeah, it sucks that we don't have that, but we have what we have now, and the stuff we have now is gorgeous. People say that we lost dinosaurs, but they're still here with us. I have two dinosaurs upstairs chirping away, and they're so old. They're so old. And I feel horrible for not giving them as much attention as they should be getting. I bought them toys to play with, but they're to the age where they don't want to play anymore. They just want to sit down, eat, clean each other, and just sleep. And I have a bunch of dinosaurs out in my backyard. You know, they go bakak. They're really annoying. They're really stupid and smart at the same time. I hate them, but I don't hate them at the same time because it's nature. I love all nature. I hate mosquitoes, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna actively want to cause a genocide for them. I understand the ecological niche they provide. They're decomposers. They're also uh no, they're not decomposers. They're fuck. What are they? Uh They fill the same niche as butterflies and bees. They're pollinators, there we go. And honestly, it's proven that they're more effective than bees and butterflies at pollinating. And yeah, they're a nuisance. They drink our blood. That's really annoying. But like, okay, they're keeping the flowers that you're growing and you like seeing healthy and alive and plentiful. I don't dick in my asses in here. I mean, that's why I love playing Ark. You see a bunch of old fauna, maybe some new fauna, like the pyromane, hypotheticals. It's Ark is beautiful. It gets too much flack. Thank you, Wildcard, for making such a beautiful game. I really appreciate Wildcard as a company. I hate snow games, though. So Wildcard needs to be bought out by someone else. I'm gonna be honest. But that's all I really have to say. It was just a lot of rants that were mainly political. It is a train station, by the way, if you can tell by the train tracks. So, yeah. Um, I'm gonna go now and do some homework. Uh, maybe even draw. So, I'll see y'all later. Bye bye.